It's another Getting Real with Ashleydawn. Sometimes you got to be your own hype girl. So I want to talk to you about two things. First thing, mirrors. Second thing, microscopes. And you're probably like, what in tarnation are you talking about mirrors and microscopes? Well, my friends, mirrors and microscopes both start with the letter M. That wasn't part of the video, but a mirror. What do you see in a mirror? Well, my friend, you see a reflection. Why do you see reflections in a mirror? Because it reflects the image that you're looking at, right? Okay, an eyeball. If you get about yay far from my face, you will see your reflection in my eyeball. And you say, really? Yeah. If you get close enough, you'll see your reflection in my eyeball. So that's where this video is going. If you get close enough to people, you will see your reflection in their eye. If you get close to their life, you'll see your reflection. If you spend time with them, you will start seeing things that they do, and you'll start realizing, I kind of do those things too. Me and my friend were talking the other day, and there's a truck that has yee yee on it, and I would be doing a disservice to the whole world if I didn't shout yee yee. Sorry, side point. But, what's that place? 99. I would be doing a complete disservice to the world if I did not say yee yee. Yee yee is just exciting. It's just exciting to say, my friend. So, my point of this video is if you get close enough to people, you will see your reflection in their life. You will start seeing things that they do, and you'll start realizing, I don't really like those things. I don't like that thing that they're doing. It annoys me. Have you ever been around somebody and it's like, no matter what they do, it just annoys you. It drives you bonkers. And they just keep doing it and keep doing it, keep doing it. And then one day you're somewhere and you realize you're doing that same thing and you're getting annoyed with yourself, and you're like, it wasn't that I was annoyed with this person. I was annoyed with this thing. And probably I was annoyed with this thing in somebody else because I struggle with that too. And because I have that same thing too. Oh, did you just say that? Yes, I did. How many times have we seen something in somebody else and we went to go pick out a flaw and we realized that that same flaw we ourselves have? So my mom, I love you, Mom. Sometimes she annoys me because she will sing songs and she will pretend that she knows the words and she doesn't. And so it annoys me when she does it. I love you, Mom. You are the best mom in the whole world and I love you. But sometimes it annoys me. And it's really funny because sometimes I'll be by myself and I'll be listening to music and I'll start doing it and it'll annoy me. And I'm like, why are you doing that? And I'm like, I'm annoyed at my mom for doing this thing when I myself do it. How often are we looking at other people and we have this microscope, right? Like the plank eye perspective. We're looking at the tiny, 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 tiny little speck in someone else's eye, a little piece of sawdust in someone else's eye, but we won't look at the 2x4 sticking out of our own eye. We're so busy looking at that tiny, tiny little splinter, but we got a whole treehouse sticking out of our own eyeball. We need to stop looking at others through a microscope and start realizing that they're really a mirror. They show us unhealthy and unhealed parts of ourselves. You know, if we're healthy and we're happy, we're not going to be nitpicky. We're not going to be pointing out flaws in others because we're going to be so happy. We're going to want to share that happiness with others. The problem is when we're not happy and we're miserable, we want to share that misery with everybody else. We're like, well, I got a lot of this. I'm going to give you some, and I'm going to give you some, and I'm going to give you some, and I'm going to sprinkle this misery all around. when that is not what it's supposed to be for. It is supposed to be, hey, I'm dealing with this, I'm going to get healthy, and then I'm going to help other people that are not healthy. Because I know what it's like not to be healthy. If I'm struggling with singing lyrics to a song that I don't really know, well, guess what? I'm going to learn the lyrics of the song before I start singing it. But seriously, that's something little. But we are mirrors to each other. Marriages. When you marry somebody, you're going to see things in them that you're not going to like. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to see things in yourself through them that you don't like. The more time you spend with somebody, the more time you'll know yourself. And sometimes we don't like that. Sometimes we see things that we don't like and we're like, ooh. And sometimes other people will point out things that we need to work on. And sometimes we don't want to listen to them. Sometimes we want to flip it around and be like, well, you got this problem and you got this problem. So since I'm at a red light, I'll write this. Or I'll read it. So I wrote, sometimes God will show you things in others to allow you to see it in yourself. As you get aggravated or annoyed at someone in your life for doing or not doing something, it's often a reflection of what you don't like in yourself. Perhaps you have been getting annoyed at lazy adults, but have overlooked your own areas of laziness in your own life. Maybe through God's grace, He's allowing something in others to bother you so that you can see the unhealthy place in yourself that needs attention and healing. Let others be a mirror instead of a microscope. And so for me, I was really struggling. This is getting real. I'm just going to be real. I was really struggling with lazy adults wanting everyone to do everything else for them and not doing it themselves. Just standing and jiggling keys at a door instead of asking for that door to be open. Just doing the bare minimum and expecting everyone else to pick up the slack. Or just trying to get their own way and not lifting a finger and not putting in effort when everybody else on the team is putting in effort. And so I was very, very frustrated and very annoyed. And God was just showing me, Ashleydawn, they are a mirror. They are not a microscope for you to look through and to figure out what they're doing that they shouldn't be doing and then give them advice. They're a mirror and they're showing you areas that you yourself need to work on. Maybe, because none of us are perfect, maybe you are able to see their laziness, but maybe you're not able to see your own until you get real, real close to them and you say, I may have some areas of laziness in my life too. I'm going to be real. This is getting real. And my promise to you is to always keep it real. Right now, at my house, there are probably 3 hampers full of folded laundry that need to be put away. That's an area of laziness that I have not addressed. But yet, I'm able to be annoyed with people that I see not doing what I know they need to do. Meanwhile, homegirl has stuff that she's not doing either that she needs to do, okay? None of us are perfect. The moment that we start looking for the little splinter in everybody else's eye is the moment that we fail. Because every single one of us has a treehouse sticking out of our own eye that we need to deal with first. We are a mirror to others. We're supposed to be. And they're a mirror to us. We need to say, you know what? I see something that I don't necessarily like in you. I'm going to pray for you in this area. Maybe don't tell them because you might hurt their feelings, but maybe start praying for them. If somebody is annoying you, start praying for them. The Bible says to pray for your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. I don't necessarily have enemies, but I have people that annoy me. They just annoy me. I'm just being real. They annoy me. There's things that they do that I don't like. There are people in my life that do things that I don't like. For example, I have one friend that does not communicate. And it annoys me so much that they never communicate and they never share their feelings, and it annoys me. Instead of letting it drive me crazy, I am learning in this season of my life to pray for them. And to understand that maybe there's an area in their life that they don't either feel comfortable opening up with me, or just in life in general, or maybe there's an unhealthy or unhealed part of them where they've opened up before and they've gotten hurt, or maybe they just don't know how to open up. Maybe nobody's ever taught them. And then I look at that and ask myself, Ashleydawn, are you communicating thoroughly? Are you sharing your feelings with them? Do they know that you don't like that they don't communicate with you? Do they know that they don't call you and that bothers you, or they don't text you, or their texts are really short, or their phone calls are really short? Have you communicated your feelings to them? Because if you're mad for them not communicating with you, are you communicating with them? Easy enough, right? I have been learning. I learn every day how jacked up I am and how in need of Jesus I am. But I have just been learning that people are mirrors, and they allow me to see things in myself that I don't necessarily like. And I allow others to see things in themselves that they probably don't necessarily like either. It's so easy to be hypercritical of others. It's so easy to just look at people like a microscope, and like everyone's under the microscope, like, what do you see, and what are they doing, and how are they acting? But we don't do that to ourselves. Sometimes we do, and that can be unhealthy too. But for the most part, we know our heart, and so we give ourselves grace and we believe the best in ourselves. Sometimes we don't, but we're thinking the worst in others a lot. I struggle with thinking the best in others sometimes, and I don't really get to the heart of the matter, and I don't really ask them, like, hey, how are you feeling? What's going on in your mind? How's your heart? Where are you at? It may annoy me that other people don't communicate, but I have to ask myself, am I communicating? And their lack of, do I also have a lack of? It's so easy to focus and to look at everybody else's problems and issues, and it's so easy to allow other people to annoy us. It really is. But we have to get to the bottom of it and say, you know what? I'm not perfect either. I got my own junk that I really need to deal with, and I'm going to deal with it. I'm grateful that God is so patient with us and so gentle with us, and that He takes His time, because we all have areas we need to improve on. I was so grateful that through praying and through kind of taking a step back and being like, okay, let's focus on the issue at hand. This person is annoying me because they're not communicating. But do I struggle with communicating too in different ways? Yes, I do. How do I struggle? Well, a lot of times, this is getting real, I'm just getting real, I don't say what I'm really feeling. I try to keep the peace with everyone, to make sure everyone's happy. And so a lot of times I'll just deal with stuff that I don't like, and I'll just keep dealing with it and keep dealing with it and keep dealing with it and keep dealing with it. And I won't say that it bothers me, even though it does. I won't say that somebody's hurting my feelings, even though they are. And I'll just deal with it and deal with it and deal with it until finally I'll get to a point where I am not dealing with it anymore, and I remove myself from the situation, from the friendship, from the relationship, whatever. Now, is that healthy? No, it's not. I need to share my feelings, and I need to say, listen, you're doing this and it hurts me. You're doing this and it makes me feel this way. For instance, one of my friends that I've really spent a lot of time with and tried to show my affection for, I've tried to affirm and encourage them and just cheer for them and really be there for them when there's not a lot of other people that are. And I really care for this person, and they just totally disregard my feelings, and it hurts. And I've kind of just let it go and let it go and let it go and let it go. Well, I finally got to a breaking point a couple weeks ago where I was like, you know what? I'm not going to let it go. I'm not going to let it go anymore. They snapped at me like 3 different times in one day. And at first I was like, okay, believe the best, show some grace. Okay, believe the best, show some grace. And then the third time, I'm like, oh, heck no. I'm not showing grace anymore, and I'm not believing the best. You're proving 3 times that you don't care about me. You're disregarding my feelings. You're disregarding my emotions, and I'm not going to allow you to continuously treat me this way. So I removed myself from the situation. Now, me and that friend have not talked really since. And does that hurt me? Yeah, it does. It hurts me a lot. But I have to look at it, and yeah, I could point fingers at my friend and be like, you did this, you did this, you did this, you did this. But I really got to point those same fingers at myself and say, why didn't you speak up? Why didn't you share that this was hurting you? Why didn't you let them know that this was bothering you? Why did you just not even talk about it? Why did you just ignore it? Why didn't you share your feelings? It's a lot easier to just pretend everything's okay and pretend everything's okay than to deal with it. It's a lot easier to ignore things and kind of just go with the flow and just let it happen than to say, you know what, you're doing something and it really hurts me. I'm really feeling hurt right now. And this is why. Do you know that it's okay for you to speak up for yourself? And really you should, because who else is going to? So here I am, mad and upset and really disappointed at somebody for not opening up and not sharing, not being emotionally available and not sharing where they are, one of my friends. But yet I'm doing the same thing. I'm not sharing how they're hurting me. I'm not sharing how I'm bothered by something they are or are not doing. Do you see what I mean? I'm to blame just as much as they are, if not more. I should be able to tell them, hey, you're doing this and it really hurts me. You're doing this and it really bothers me. Can you please not do that? Can you open up? Can you talk to me? Where are you? Where is your mind? Where is your heart? Where are you? I can see the thing that annoys me in somebody else, but sometimes I can't see it in myself. And sometimes it's God's grace that He allows us to be annoyed by the same thing in somebody else so that we can see us. So that mirror, when you get close to somebody's eyeball, I wish I could take the phone and like put it up to my eyeball and you could like see the reflection in it. Well, maybe if I do my sunglasses. Can you see the reflection? No. Anyway, my point is, when you get close enough to somebody, you see your reflection in their eyes. When you get close enough to somebody, you see their flaws and they see yours. And you see your own flaws because you see your reflection in their eye. You don't see their reflection in their eye. Do you get it? That's a deep word for some people right there. But my point is this. We need to allow iron to sharpen iron, right? Ooh, what am I running over? We need to allow iron to sharpen iron. We need to see a flaw, maybe something in others, let it annoy us, and then turn around and say, okay, do I have that same flaw in myself? And if I do, how can I fix it? How can I uproot it? How can I get healthy? How can I take that unhealed part of myself and how can I administer healing to that? How can I change? For me, I need to call my friend and I need to talk to them and just say, listen, you hurt me. You made me feel this kind of way. And I don't personally think that's okay. Moving forward, I really do not want you to continue hurting me. And vice versa. Have I hurt you? And if I have, can you please tell me because I don't want to hurt you. So there needs to be communication happening and I need to be the one to do it. Why? Because I'm the one that sees it. Maybe they see it and they haven't, brought it up, but I'm the one that sees it. I know that I see it, so I need to do something about it. Please tell me why you are coming to a complete stop at a green light. So I need to do something about it. If you have come to the realization that something in your life is not exactly the way that you want it to be, do something about it. You are in control of your own life, so do something about it. If somebody is hurting you, let them know that they are hurting you. Maybe they don't know. Maybe they are completely oblivious to how their actions or non-actions are making you feel. So, I hope this video encourages you to speak up for yourself. I hope that you realize that you have some unhealthy places in your life, that you have some flaws in your life that you need to maybe get some healing for, maybe spend some time focusing on and just say, okay, why do I do this thing? Why does this annoy me in somebody else? Is there a root of that in me? Right? So for me, just this one instance, the communication thing, and then the other instance was tacos, barbecue, and chicken. Yum. The other one was, what was it? Oh, laziness. Laziness. Do I have places of laziness in my life? Yes, I do. Can I deal with them and fix them? Yes, I can. So I need to fix them. I need to deal with them. And I also need to pray for the people that are struggling with it too. And maybe in praying for them, God's going to give me a love for them and I'm going to be able to be a better friend to them. And maybe if you do the same thing, it's going to allow you to be a better friend, and it's going to allow God's love to shine through your life into theirs. Just an idea. You are seen, you are celebrated, and you are loved. The closer you get to God, the closer you'll see His love in you. And maybe you won't. And maybe you'll see a spot that needs a little bit of work, and that's okay. I love you, but more importantly, God loves you. He's got great plans for you. And sometimes His grace is allowing us to see flaws in others so that we can address the flaws in ourselves. Because none of us are perfect. We all need help. We all need Jesus. I love you, and I'll catch you in the next one.